Hello, everyone, and welcome. Before we begin, I want you to take a deep breath and think about your goals. Maybe you want to improve your English, speak more confidently, or change something in your life. Whatever it is, remember this. Every new day is a chance to build something better. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Learning English is a journey, not a race. It's just like building a strong house. You must create a good foundation, step by step, brick by brick. Each new word you learn, each sentence you speak, makes your foundation stronger. The more you practice, the more confident you become. And one day, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. So stay positive, stay curious, and keep learning. English is not just a language. It's a bridge to new people, new ideas, and new opportunities. Let's grow together, let's build together, and let's make today another step toward your success. Many people work very hard in life, but their results don't always match their effort. It's not because they are lazy, it's because they don't have a clear plan. They work without direction, like trying to build a house without a design. Imagine trying to build a tall building without first drawing a plan. You wouldn't start pouring concrete without knowing what you're building, right? Yet, many people live their lives this way. They wake up every day, go to work, do their tasks, but never stop to ask themselves, what am I really building? What kind of life do I want to create? When you put in effort without structure, it leads to frustration. It's like rowing a boat in circles. You feel tired, you work hard, but you never move forward. Some people live like this for years, wondering why nothing changes. The truth is that life follows certain rules, just like gravity. If you plant good seeds, you will get a good harvest. But if you neglect the field, weeds will grow. It's not personal. It's simply how life works. Once you understand these principles, you can predict your results. When I was younger, I used to think success came from luck, talent, or knowing the right people. But I've learned that true success comes from structure, from how you build your daily habits, how you think, and the choices you make every day. The people who live happy, successful lives don't just hope for good things, they design them. They build their lives like strong houses, with solid foundations and clear purpose. That's why today I want to share 7 important rules that can help anyone turn a messy, stressful life into a calm and productive one. Each rule is simple but not easy. They require honesty, self-discipline, and courage. These are the real tools of a builder, the tools that can help you construct a meaningful life. The first rule is foundation. Without it, nothing else will stand. You can't build strength on excuses, freedom on denial, or success on blame. Everything starts with responsibility. Taking full responsibility for your life is the first and hardest step. Most people avoid it. They blame their job, the economy, their parents, or bad luck. But here's the truth. As long as you keep blaming others, you lose your power. Real power begins when you stop pointing fingers and start saying, "It's my life, and I'm in control." And this same rule applies to learning English too. Many people say, "I don't have time," or "It's too hard," or "I'm not good at languages." But those are just excuses. The moment you take responsibility for your learning, everything changes. When you say, "I can learn, I can improve, I can speak better English every day," your brain starts looking for opportunities to grow. Every small effort, listening to podcasts, watching videos, learning new words, becomes a brick in the foundation of your fluency. So remember, success in life and success in English both begin with the same rule. Take ownership. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Start building with what you have today. Your future self will thank you for every small step you take now. There comes a moment when you realize something important. Nothing in your life will truly change until you decide to change. Many people wait for the right time, for better luck, for circumstances to improve. But life doesn't work like that. Circumstances follow character. When you change inside, your attitude, your habits, your thinking, your outside world begins to change too. Taking full responsibility for your life doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything that happens. It means understanding that you always have a choice. You can't always control what happens around you, but you can control your response, your attitude, your effort, your decisions. And these small daily choices shape your future. Think about this. Two people lose their jobs. One person spends months complaining, telling everyone how unfair it was. The other spends a few days thinking, then asks, "What can I learn from this? What can I do next?" The first person repeats the story of failure. The second person writes a new story of success. Same event, completely different outcome, all because of responsibility. Taking responsibility isn't easy. It's not exciting like blaming the government, the economy, or other people, but it's the only way to become strong. Blame keeps you weak, but responsibility makes you powerful. The moment you say, "I'm responsible for my life," everything changes. Suddenly you can plan, act, and move forward. You stop waiting for someone to rescue you, and you start building your own rescue plan. You begin thinking differently. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What's next?" You can't change the past, but you can change how you see it. Every mistake becomes a lesson, not a label. That's when you stop being a victim of life and start becoming its architect. And here's how this idea connects to learning English. You can wait for perfect conditions, more time, better teachers, or stronger motivation. But real progress begins when you take responsibility for your learning. When you say, "It's my job to improve, to practice, to study a little every day," you take control. Each new word, each short English video, each practice session is your choice, your effort, your progress. Nobody else can learn English for you. Only you can build that skill. You can't control the language or how difficult it feels sometimes, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to keep going, to try again, to make English a part of your life every single day. Because just like in life, the moment you take full responsibility for your English, your growth becomes unstoppable. The more effort you give, the more results you see. Responsibility is not a burden, it's the key to freedom. Once you take it, you become the architect of your own success, in life and in every language you decide to master. Many people live their lives surrounded by noise. They're busy all the time, but they have no clear direction. They wake up every morning, go to work, handle problems, answer messages, but they've never really stopped to ask themselves, "What kind of life do I want to build?" A life that truly works is one that fits your own values, not someone else's expectations. Too many people follow a plan they didn't create. They chase what others call success, a bigger house, a better car, a louder applause. But one day they wake up tired, restless, and confused, wondering why it all feels empty inside. The truth is, they've been building someone else's dream instead of their own. When you take the time to define what success really means for you, everything begins to make sense. Maybe for you, success is peace of mind, waking up calm and happy. Maybe it's strong, loving relationships, meaningful work, or the feeling that you're improving a little every day. Yes, it can include money, but not if money becomes a cage that traps your spirit. A life that works should feel natural, like a perfectly tailored suit, comfortable, flexible, and personal. It shouldn't squeeze or feel heavy. It should move with you as you grow. Clarity is the foundation of all improvement. You can't fix what you haven't defined, and you can't reach a goal that you haven't clearly set. So take some quiet time to think, and even write it down. What kind of life do you really want? What would a balanced, meaningful day look like for you? How would real progress feel? Don't let the world decide your scoreboard. Other people's applause fades quickly, but inner peace lasts. You know when your life fits. You can feel it when you wake up in the morning and when you go to bed at night. Once you define what truly matters to you, protect that vision. The world will constantly try to sell you its version of success. Billboards, ads, social media, all telling you to buy more, chase more, want more. But real happiness doesn't come from more. It comes from meaning, and meaning grows out of clarity. When you know what a life that works means for you, decision-making becomes easier. You can say yes with confidence and no without guilt. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop competing and start creating. The person who knows what matters most is rarely confused. A well-designed life is one where your actions match your values. Your time, your energy, your focus, and even your money all move in the same direction, toward what's truly important to you. That's what real success looks like. And the same is true for learning English. Many people study without purpose. They follow what others say they should do. Learn grammar, memorize long lists, pass an exam. But they never stop to ask, why am I learning English? When you define your reason, whether it's to travel, to get a better job, to communicate with people around the world, or to understand movies and podcasts, everything becomes clearer. You stop feeling lost and your motivation becomes stronger. Because learning English, like building a meaningful life, starts with clarity. Once you know why you're doing it, you can create a plan that works for you. You stop comparing your progress to others and focus on your own journey. You begin to build a language life that fits you, something real, steady, and personal. And once you've found your purpose, there's only one more thing to master: time. Even the best plan will fail if time controls you instead of you controlling time. That's why the next rule is simple but powerful. Don't chase time. Master it. Time is something we all have. 24 hours a day, no more, no less. The real question isn't how much time you have, it's how well you use it. That's why one of the most important rules for a successful and happy life is simple: master your time. Don't chase it. Most people spend their days reacting to everything around them. They wake up late, rush through breakfast, check messages, handle problems, and call it being busy. But being busy is not the same as being productive. Movement doesn't always mean progress. If time controls you instead of you controlling time, you'll always feel behind. Even on your best days, the secret isn't to find more time. The secret is to set better priorities. Real-time management is actually priority management. You can't control every minute, but you can control what fills those minutes. When you know what truly matters, you start working with purpose, not just out of habit. I used to think discipline meant doing everything. Later, I learned that discipline means doing the right things. You can be very efficient at the wrong tasks and still end up nowhere. A full schedule can hide an empty life. So, the real question each day isn't, how much did I do? But, did I do what matters most? Mastering your time starts with intention. Each morning, Decide what deserves your best energy. The first few hours of the day often decide the quality of the rest. Don't waste your strongest hours on unimportant things. Protect them like treasure, because they are. A well-organized life runs on a schedule, not on emotion. If you wait until you feel like doing something important, you'll wait forever. Successful people design their days before emotion wakes up. They plan, then they follow that plan. Discipline first, feelings later. Think of time as money. You can spend it, invest it, or waste it. If you spend it carelessly, it's gone forever. But if you invest your time in learning, creating, or connecting with people, it grows and multiplies. Every hour gives you something in return. The question is, are you earning or burning it? Most frustration in life comes from saying yes too often. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. If you want time to build a better life, you must learn to say no to things that don't help you grow. Pause before you promise. Plan before you start. Protect your quiet hours. There where reflection happens, and reflection makes you wiser. There's a saying, don't get so busy making a living that you forget to design a life. A life that works is one where effort and rest are in balance. And the same is true for learning English. Don't just be busy learning, be intentional. Instead of studying random grammar or watching endless videos, focus your time wisely. Spend your best morning energy listening to English podcasts, reading a page of an English book, or practicing speaking aloud. English, like time, rewards focus. It's not about how many hours you study, it's about what you do with those hours. If you give just 20 focused minutes a day to English, truly focused, you'll see more progress than studying for 2 distracted hours. So manage your time, manage your focus, and build your skills steadily. Because both success and fluency in English come from the same principle: consistency with purpose. There's a simple truth about life: ambition, peace, and success all live in balance. If you don't take control of your time, time will control you. But once you bring order to your days, everything starts to flow more smoothly. You begin to feel calm, confident, and focused because you know where your energy is going and why. Yet even if you learn to master your time, there's another important battle you must win: the battle inside your mind. This is the fourth rule for a life that truly works: guard your mind. Your mind is like the control tower of your life. Everything, your results, your habits, your attitude, begins there. Every achievement, every failure starts as a single thought. And here's the law of life: your results will always match your philosophy, not your wishes or your dreams. Because how you think determines how you act, and how you act determines how you live. If you don't protect your mind, your life becomes chaotic. It's like leaving the doors of your home open at night and wondering why trouble keeps coming in. The same thing happens mentally. If you allow too much noise, negativity, or fear into your thoughts, your peace disappears. Everything you let into your mind, what you read, what you watch, who you spend time with, and what you repeat to yourself, plants a seed. Over time, those seeds grow into habits, attitudes, and actions. So you have to choose what you feed your mind carefully. It's simple: garbage in, garbage out. If you fill your mind with gossip, negativity, and fear, you'll harvest anxiety and confusion. But if you feed it with wisdom, truth, and inspiration, you'll grow confidence, clarity, and peace. Success isn't just about working hard, it's about thinking right. Two people can face the same problem. One sees it as a reason to quit, the other as a reason to learn. The situation is the same, but the mindset is different, and that difference determines who grows and who stays stuck. Guarding your mind takes discipline. It means turning off what dulls you and turning toward what sharpens you. It means choosing mentors over mindless media, books over endless scrolling, reflection over reaction. Most people protect their money more than their thoughts, but your thoughts are what create or destroy the success that money can bring. What you allow into your head becomes what comes out of your mouth. It shapes your choices, your emotions, and your life. That's why one of the best habits you can build is feeding your mind with good input every single day. And this is where English learning becomes powerful. When you study English, when you read motivational books, listen to podcasts, or watch videos in English, you're not just learning a language. You're training your mind to think positively, to grow, and to see the world with new eyes. English becomes a tool for mental strength. Every new English word is like a healthy seed for your brain. Every time you read or listen to something inspiring in English, you're not just improving your language, you're improving your mindset. You're learning how successful people think, how they speak, how they stay calm and focused. So guard your mind. Choose your content carefully. Avoid negativity and fill your days with learning, ideas, and motivation, especially in English. Because a strong mind builds a strong life, and every strong life begins with the right thoughts. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Be as careful with ideas as you are with food. You wouldn't eat poison by accident, so don't think poison by habit. Your thoughts are like the meals you feed your brain. They decide how strong or weak you'll be. And remember this, you can't think high while living low. If you want a better life, you must first think in a better way. The quality of your thoughts must match the quality of the life you dream of. That's why reading matters. That's why spending time with positive, focused people matters. When you surround yourself with people who have vision and discipline, your thinking grows too. They challenge your small talk, push you to think deeper, and inspire you to raise your own standards. When you guard your mind, you build a mental filter, a kind of shield that protects your focus. And focus is what transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Most people don't need more time, they simply need fewer distractions. A clear mind creates a clear path. And when your thoughts are organized, your life moves forward with ease. So if you want a life that truly works, make your mind your strongest ally, not your weakest link. Once your thoughts are strong and clear, it's time to turn that mental clarity into structure. Because inspiration without a system is like energy without direction. It burns out quickly. This leads us to rule number 5. Build systems, not goals. Most people are taught to chase goals. They make lists, set deadlines, repeat affirmations, and wait for motivation to carry them through. But here's the truth. Goals give you direction. Systems create consistency. Goals can inspire you, but systems sustain you. Without structure, motivation fades. Without routine, progress falls apart. A goal says, I want to run a marathon. A system says, I will run 5 miles every morning. A goal says, I want to lose 20 pounds. A system says, I will eat clean, train daily, and rest well. A goal is the target, but a system is the path that gets you there. When you rely only on motivation, you'll struggle because motivation is emotional. It comes and goes. But systems are mechanical. They work even when you don't feel like it. The people who win in life are not the ones who are always excited. They're the ones who've built habits so strong that discipline takes over when feelings disappear. Most people don't fail because they lack vision. They fail because they lack design. They hope success will come from inspiration instead of construction. But a working life, just like a successful business, runs on predictable rhythms. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Think about a well-run business. It doesn't survive on enthusiasm alone. It survives on structure, clear processes, organized checklists, and strong standards. The same is true for your personal life. Build simple, reliable systems for your health, your finances, your relationships, and, very importantly, your learning. Turn the important things into habits so you don't waste time deciding every day whether you should do them or not. And now, let's talk about your English learning system. Most learners set goals like, I want to speak English fluently, or I want to reach B2, but those are only targets. What really creates progress is your system, the daily process that gets you there. Your goal says, I want to speak English better. Your system says, I will listen to one podcast, learn 5 new words, and speak for 10 minutes every day. Your goal says, I want to understand native speakers. Your system says, I'll watch one English video daily and repeat phrases aloud until they sound natural. It's not about doing it once, it's about doing it every day, even when you don't feel like it. Because consistency beats motivation every single time. A strong English learning system turns language practice into part of your lifestyle. Something automatic, something that builds your confidence and opens new doors. So stop chasing motivation. Build a system. Create habits that make learning English natural and enjoyable. Because success, in language and in life, belongs not to those who dream big once, but to those who take small, steady steps every single day. When I was younger, I used to get very excited about setting big goals. I loved the feeling of imagining success, but I learned something important. Excitement doesn't get you to the finish line. Consistency does. It's not what you do once that defines you, it's what you do repeatedly. Success is never a one-time event. It's the result of small, right actions practiced every single day. That's why systems matter so much. A good system takes the pressure off your willpower. You don't have to wake up wondering, will I do the right thing today? Because it's already part of your daily routine. Systems turn discipline into autopilot. So if you find it hard to stay consistent, stop waiting for motivation. Start designing better systems. Don't try harder. Make it easier to win. Automate your good choices. Schedule your best habits. Make the path between your intentions and your actions short and simple. Remember, the goal gets you started, but the system keeps you going. And when you build systems around your values, your life starts to run smoothly, with less stress and more flow. But even with systems in place, there's something else you need. Standards. Systems work best when they're guided by strong principles, principles that don't bend to mood, excuses, or convenience. That brings us to rule number 6. Stay accountable to standards. A life that truly works is measured by standards, not by moods. Most people live by emotion. They do what they feel like doing. But feelings change every day. And when they do, results change too. Discipline fades, consistency breaks, and progress disappears. People who build strong, stable lives live differently. They measure themselves by something higher, by principle. Standards are the guardrails of excellence. They define what's acceptable and what's not. They set the tone for how you behave, even when nobody's watching. You can't build a great life with casual rules. You need non-negotiables, clear lines that protect what matters most. Health is a standard. Integrity is a standard. Effort is a standard. Growth is a standard. When you hold yourself to these, you stop drifting and start directing your life. Because standards don't depend on circumstances, they depend on decisions. When you live by standards, your days gain structure. You stop asking, "Do I feel like it?" and start asking, "Does this meet my standard?" That's the difference between amateurs and professionals, between wishers and workers. Amateurs wait for the mood, professionals act on the standard. And here's the best part: when your standards rise, your results rise too. Life always responds to consistency. You don't get what you want, you get what you tolerate. If you tolerate excuses, you'll live an average life. But if you demand excellence from yourself, you'll attract excellence in return. Accountability keeps your standards alive. You can't climb to higher ground if you never stop to measure your steps. Reflect each week and ask yourself, did I live by my standards today? Did I give my best in health, in work, in honesty, and in learning? Because learning, especially learning English, is also a standard. If you want to improve your English, treat it like a personal principle, not a passing goal. Don't study only when you feel like it. Study because it's part of who you are becoming. Speak even when it's uncomfortable. Listen even when it's hard. Read even when you're tired. Every small, consistent action becomes part of your identity. One day, you won't just learn English, you'll live in English. That's the beauty of standards. They turn habits into character, and character into destiny. Set yours high, stay accountable, and watch how both your English and your life transform day by day. The truth is, without regular review, we all start to drift. Even strong people lose direction if they stop checking their progress. The strongest people I've ever known were not the loudest, not the most talented, not the ones with the biggest goals. They were the most consistent. They had quiet personal rules they refused to break, not because anyone was watching, but because self-respect was. They didn't need someone to remind them what to do. They held themselves accountable every single day. When you honor your own standards, something powerful happens. Your confidence grows. You start trusting yourself again. You stop making excuses. You stop negotiating with laziness and distraction. You stop needing applause because your own word means something. And here's the truth. Discipline may feel like restriction, but it's actually freedom. Freedom from regret, from chaos, from mediocrity. High standards don't trap you, they lift you. Now, once you're living by strong standards, there's one final rule that completes the circle. Even the best system, the best schedule, and the best standard will eventually grow stale if you stop expanding. Life isn't meant to stay still. It's meant to grow. That's why, rule number 7 is the mission behind them all. Keep growth as the mission. The goal of life isn't comfort, it's capacity. Comfort feels nice for a moment, but it slowly weakens you. Growth, on the other hand, stretches you, strengthens you, and gives meaning to every challenge you face. A life that truly works is one that keeps expanding, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and even financially. The moment you stop growing, your life begins to shrink. I've seen it happen many times. People reach a certain level of success and then settle. They think, I've made it. But the truth is, when you stop climbing, you start sliding. Coasting only goes downhill. Growth is the antidote to stagnation. It's what keeps your enthusiasm alive. Growth doesn't always feel comfortable. In fact, it often hurts a little. Muscles grow through tension. Character grows through challenge. Every stretch feels uncomfortable, but that discomfort means you're improving. Learn to value the discomfort that comes with development. Don't fight it, use it. Every challenge life gives you can either break you or build you. You decide which one it will be. Every experience, win or loss, can make you wiser if you choose to learn from it. That's why growth should always be at the center of your life. Make learning a daily mission. Read books, reflect on your mistakes, ask questions, observe how others succeed, and stay curious. Growth begins with curiosity. The moment you think you know it all, you close the door to the next level. And don't grow only for yourself. Grow so you can help others. The purpose of learning isn't to collect knowledge, but to share it. When you keep growing, you become a source of inspiration and strength for others. You become a teacher, a mentor, an example of what's possible. Now let's talk about learning English, because it's one of the best examples of lifelong growth. When you study English, you're not just learning a language, you're expanding your capacity. You're training your brain to think differently, to connect with people from around the world, and to express yourself more clearly. Every new English word is a new window that opens to another part of the world. There will be days when learning feels hard, when you forget a word, when you make a mistake, or when you feel tired. Remember, that's growth in action. Just like muscles, your language skills grow through effort and repetition. So keep going. Read something in English every day. Listen to English podcasts. Watch videos and repeat the sentences out loud. Speak even if it's not perfect. Progress is not about perfection. It's about expansion. And as you grow in English, you grow as a person. You become more confident, more open-minded, and more capable of shaping your future. Growth never ends. And that's what makes life beautiful. Keep expanding your skills, your mindset, your language, and your heart. Every small effort counts. Every small victory matters. Keep growing in English, in strength, and in life. Growth happens with time, but time alone doesn't guarantee growth. What truly creates growth is intention. Some people live 10 years, but it's really the same year repeated 10 times. Others live 1 year filled with 10 years of experiences. The difference between the two is awareness. Reflection turns time into wisdom. So ask yourself often, am I really growing, or am I just repeating the same routine? Am I expanding my capacity, or am I protecting my comfort zone? Growth requires honesty, and honesty requires humility. The people who stay humble and teachable never stop expanding their potential. When growth becomes your mission, success comes naturally, because growth changes the way you think, and how you think changes what you attract. A growing person doesn't chase opportunities, they create them. So keep climbing, keep reading, keep improving your habits, and deepening your understanding. The true reward of becoming better is not what you get, it's who you become. When growth becomes your way of life, everything else, balance, clarity, discipline, falls naturally into place. That's when life starts to work, not by luck, but by alignment. Now let's reflect on what it means to live a life that truly works. A life that works isn't about luck. It's about alignment. When your habits, thoughts, and values all move in the same direction. When the pieces fit together, life moves with rhythm. It doesn't mean you'll never face problems, but it means you'll have the strength and structure to face them wisely. When you live by principles of discipline, clarity, and growth, life stops fighting you and starts rewarding you. Think about it. When you take full responsibility, you stand on solid ground. When you define what a good life means to you, direction replaces confusion. When you master time, you control the flow instead of being controlled by it. When you guard your mind, wisdom replaces noise. When you build systems, Consistency replaces chaos. When you stay accountable to standards, excellence replaces excuses. And when you keep growth as your mission, life stays alive, full of energy, purpose, and meaning. That's what a real, working life looks like. Not perfect, but balanced, focused, and strong. It's the same in nature. The seasons never miss their turn. The sun rises on time. The universe doesn't argue. It simply aligns. And that's the secret. Life works when you do. Human beings are part of that same order. When your behavior aligns with timeless principles, rewards follow naturally. Many people look for shortcuts, but there are none. The shortest path to success is still through the fundamentals: responsibility, clarity, time, focus, and growth. Now let's apply this idea to your English learning journey. Language learning, just like life, requires alignment. You can't just study randomly and expect results. You need systems, discipline, reflection, and growth. When you take full responsibility for your English progress, you stop blaming luck or time, and you start improving. When you define what success in English means for you, maybe confidence, fluency, or freedom, you gain direction. When you master your time, even 20 minutes a day, you create momentum. When you guard your mind and fill it with English books, podcasts, and inspiring content, wisdom replaces distraction. When you build systems like studying at the same time every day, consistency replaces chaos. When you set clear standards, I will speak English daily, I will learn 5 new words, excuses disappear. And when you keep growth as your mission, not perfection, not comparison, you stay motivated and alive. That's how English and life truly start to work. Keep growing, keep learning, keep moving. Because every small step you take today becomes a foundation for the person you're becoming tomorrow. Structure, standards, and growth. You can't skip these if you want a peaceful and balanced life. They're not rules that limit you, they're rails that keep your train on track. When you live by these 7 rules: responsibility, clarity, time mastery, guarding the mind, building systems, holding standards, and keeping growth as your mission, something powerful begins to happen. Your days start to flow more easily, your mind becomes clearer, decisions feel lighter and quicker, you begin to trust yourself again, you stop waiting for life to get easier. Instead, you become stronger. That's the moment when everything changes, when you move from reaction to design. A person who lives by design doesn't fear the future. They build it. They understand that every single day is a brick in the structure of something lasting. Each small act of discipline becomes part of a bigger achievement. Each lesson learned adds another layer of wisdom. And the best part? When your life starts to work, when things begin to align, people notice. They feel your calm energy, your order, your peace, your consistency. Your example becomes the spark that inspires others to change too. That's how true leadership begins, not through commands or big speeches, but through quiet demonstration. Your habits become your voice. Your discipline becomes your story. Your consistency becomes your character. So let your life speak for itself. Let your daily choices tell your story. Let your results prove your dedication. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. You can't control the seasons, but you can choose how and when to plant. When you follow the timeless rules of life, your harvest is guaranteed. A life that truly works is not something you find. It's something you build piece by piece, choice by choice, habit by habit. And just like that, learning English works the same way. You can't expect fluency by luck or talent alone. It's something you build daily through structure, standards, and growth. Structure means having a plan, studying a little every day, reviewing old lessons, listening to English podcasts, and reading short texts. Standards mean you don't skip practice just because you're tired. You keep your promise to yourself. And growth means you stay curious. You keep improving, exploring, and using English in new ways. Every word you learn is like a brick in your foundation. Every conversation you try, even with mistakes, is a layer of confidence. Every video you watch, every sentence you write, strengthens your structure. Fluency doesn't come by accident. It's built step by step. You are the architect of your English journey. And just like in life, when your actions align with your goals, progress becomes unstoppable. So keep going. Learn a little more, speak a little more, grow a little more. Because one day you'll look back and realize you've built something beautiful. A strong mind, a confident voice, and a life that truly works in every language. Learning English is not just about studying grammar or memorizing vocabulary. It's about completely transforming the way you think, communicate, and connect with the world. Every new word you learn expands your mind. Every sentence you speak brings you one step closer to confidence. Every mistake you make teaches you how to become better. You don't just study English, you grow with it. Fluency doesn't appear suddenly. It's the result of hundreds of small actions done with consistency. Some days it feels easy, and on other days it feels impossible. But progress is still happening underneath the surface, just like roots growing before a tree breaks the ground. If you stay patient, keep reading, listening, and speaking, one day you'll notice that you're not translating in your head anymore. You're thinking directly in English. That's when true fluency begins to live inside you. Learning English gives you more than communication. It gives you freedom. It allows you to explore new cultures, access global knowledge, and meet people from every corner of the planet. It opens the door to opportunities you never imagined. Better jobs, international travel, education abroad, and personal growth. The moment you decide to learn English seriously, your world starts to grow bigger. But to reach that level, you need structure, discipline, and clear standards, just like in life. Create a system for your English practice. Study at the same time every day, even for only 20 minutes. Read short articles aloud to improve pronunciation. Write a few sentences about your day, and listen to English podcasts to train your ears. The goal is not perfection, the goal is progress. One step a day is enough if you never stop walking. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Every native speaker once made them too. Every great English learner once struggled to say simple phrases. The difference between those who succeed and those who quit is not talent, it's persistence. You don't fail when you make mistakes. You fail only when you stop trying. Keep going even when it feels slow, because consistency is stronger than motivation. When you start to use English every day, in your thoughts, your hobbies, your online world, it stops being a subject and becomes part of your identity. That's the secret to real mastery, living in the language. Think in English when you walk, when you eat, when you plan your day. Speak to yourself out loud. Watch English videos and repeat the phrases you hear. Surround your mind with English until it feels natural, not foreign. One day, you'll notice something powerful. You'll read a book and understand it. You'll watch a movie without subtitles. You'll talk to someone from another country and realize you did it. You built this skill with your own hands. And in that moment, you'll understand that English was never just about words. It was about building discipline, patience, and confidence. So keep learning, keep growing, keep believing that you can. Because every single minute you spend improving your English is not wasted. It's an investment in your future self, the one who speaks clearly, thinks freely, and lives without limits. When you learn English, you are not just collecting words, you are rebuilding your entire inner world. Each word you master gives you the power to think in new ways, to describe your emotions more precisely, and to understand people from every culture. English becomes a tool for connection, not just communication. It's a bridge between your thoughts and the rest of the world. Every time you speak in English, even if your sentences are simple or not perfect, you train your courage. You teach yourself that you are capable of doing difficult things. You show your brain that fear can be replaced by curiosity. And that small victory matters more than any grammar rule, because confidence, once built, changes everything. You start to speak more, think faster, and learn deeper. If you want to make English part of your life, you must treat it like something living. Feed it every day with listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Surround yourself with it. Listen to English podcasts while cooking. Watch YouTube videos before bed. Read English subtitles. Write short notes in English about your day. These are not small exercises. They are steps toward mastery. The secret is to stay close to the language every single day, like a friend you see often. And remember, English rewards patience. You don't notice progress every day, but it's happening silently, just like your heart keeps beating without you feeling it. One day, without warning, you'll understand a full conversation. You'll read an article easily. You'll express yourself naturally, and you'll smile because it feels effortless. That moment is coming, but only if you keep moving. Don't compare your journey to others. Everyone learns differently. Some learn fast, others slowly. But speed means nothing without direction. What matters is consistency. Study a little every day. Review what you've learned. Speak to yourself in English. Even 5 focused minutes are more powerful than 1 hour once a week. English is not just about speaking correctly, it's about discovering yourself in another language. You begin to think differently, feel differently, and see the world with wider eyes. You start to dream in English, to imagine your future in English, to plan your goals using new words. That's when you know you're not just learning a language, you're living it. So keep going, keep believing. Every video you watch, every word you repeat, every note you write is part of something bigger. A future where English is not a challenge but a natural part of who you are. And when that day comes, you'll realize that learning English was never just about understanding others. It was about understanding yourself. When you decide to continue learning English, you are not just improving a skill. You are building a mindset that says, I never give up. Every day you practice, even a little, you prove to yourself that progress is possible. It doesn't matter if you speak slowly, make mistakes, or forget words. What matters is that you keep going, step by step, lesson by lesson, word by word. You are becoming stronger, smarter, and more confident. Think about how far you've already come. Maybe months ago, you couldn't understand native speakers. Maybe you were afraid to speak or felt shy. But now you're reading, writing, listening, and understanding more. That's proof of growth. That's proof that you are capable of anything if you stay consistent. English is your key to the world. It's your passport to communication, to freedom, to new ideas and friendships. Through English, you can watch films, read books, and listen to the greatest thinkers and dreamers of our time. You can connect with people from every country and share your story with them. That's not just education, that's transformation. So never stop. Keep reading something in English every day, even a short article. Keep listening to English podcasts and songs. Keep speaking out loud, even when no one listens. Keep writing your thoughts, even if your grammar isn't perfect. Every small effort is a brick in the foundation of your future fluency. And most importantly, believe in yourself. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. You don't need to speak like a native. You just need to speak bravely. Every word you say in English is a victory. Every time you understand something new, it's a sign that your brain is growing. So walk proudly on this path. Let English be your daily companion. One day, you'll look back and realize that learning English didn't just change your communication, it changed your life. It made you stronger, more open, and more confident than ever before. Keep learning, keep dreaming, and keep growing. The world is waiting for your voice. You've got this, and the best is yet to come. Thank you for reading. Keep believing in your English journey. Until next time, stay motivated and never stop learning.